Well, hello, everybody. Glad to have you all here. No one in the world can love me like you do. Oh, I've been listening to that song all day long from the one and only Miss Anita Baker today. We have a lot to talk about. Wendy Williams, there's an update with her. I have the intel on that for you. Jackie Robinson, did you see Jackie Robinson hit that ball? Did he hit it? Yeah, dang. Oh, he swung home. Yes, Jackie did hit that ball, but there has been a crime that occurred. Tell you more about that. Megan the Stallion. Y'all know her new song, Hiss. Well, there are a lot of people hissing back at her. I'll tell you more about that as well. This brother from rap did a move that I would do when I make it. And Killer Mike shows some love. So we're going to talk about that. Michael B. Jordan. There's an update on him, and then Snoop Dogg as well. I am on the stage. Let me take down this iconic intro as well. You see the virtual tour background, you hear the virtual tour music, and then there is me. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. Another edition of Brainley's virtual tour live. And like I said, no one in this world can love me like you do by Anita Baker. I've been listening to that song all day. Can that be like a first dance song for a wedding? Or, if she was walking down the aisle? Because let me tell you something. That's a fire song right there, okay? Listen, we'll have you feel it more ways than one, okay? So anyway, let's go on tour, shall we? Let's go on tour. So this comes to us from Wendy Williams. By the way, shout out to Chronicle Speaks. That's the first. Well, no. Kempire is where I first heard it. Then Chronicle Speaks. But I think it originated from Chronicle Speaks. So, excuse me, I'm sorry. One of Wendy Williams' colleagues recently shared an update about her whereabouts. According to the New York-based radio host Miss Jones, the famed TV personality has uprooted her life from the Big Apple to live closer to her family members in Florida. During a recent segment on the 94.7 The Block morning show, Miss Jones reportedly shared that she attempted to do a wellness check on Wendy Williams, but denied the request of many of the shared friends. When she attempted to enter the apartment building the media vet resided in, Jones claimed she was told by employees you're a couple months late. She moved. After asking around about the situation a bit, Jones said others claimed that Williams was out. Williams was recovering from her illness for a while, but eventually fell ill again, seemingly prompting the move. Jones alluded to there being some truth in previous reports that the TV personality was being taken advantage of by people around her. As we report back in June of last year, Williams' son, Kevin Hunter Jr., alleged that several of his mother's team members were making decisions on her behalf that he didn't believe she would make if she was a sound mind. At the time, Williams was undergoing several complications that seemed to put her on hard times. The media vet had to walk away from her iconic talk show after battling health issues reportedly related to her Graves' disease and lymphedema. What was meant to be a temporary departure eventually turned into the series coming to an end after more than a decade on the air. Rumors that then began to swirl that Williams was battling drug and alcohol addiction while attempting to cope with her personal and health struggles. In addition, Williams was frozen out for bank accounts around the same time, as she was reportedly deemed unfit to operate her finances. However, in recent months, Williams has managed to evade the paparazzi, has mostly stayed out of the eye of media. So, with that being said, it seems that she is at peace, which is wonderful to hear. I know that a lot of people may like Wendy, they may not like Wendy. I'm still sorry. We are live on tour. I'm trying to get my fam together. Lord help me. But no, I know that people feel a way about Wendy Williams and what she does. In the same token, there hasn't been a show like hers on TV that talks about the things that are public and gives it some oomph to it. And if I look at the entertainment news landscape, there's Entertainment Tonight, there's Access Hollywood, there is Extra, and then Wendy is the cutting room floor. of entertainment news, just like TMZ is. So she definitely is a legend for sure, and glad that she is doing well. I think we have to recognize that, somebody should not be condemned by their yesterday, because we all were somebody yesterday. We're all somebody today. We're definitely going to be somebody tomorrow. And also, too, like, I'm glad that Kevin Jr. has his mom still. You know what I mean? Because I remember reading an interview, I think from The Sun, and I think we covered it here on Virtual Tour Live, that he was really uneasy about his mom. And so, listen, I'd rather him have his mom on the planet than her being for all of us, right? So, like I said, whether you sit high and look low, or you're down low looking high, things happen to everybody, you know what I mean? So, but yep, that is Wendy Williams there. All right, next story up for y'all. Jackie Robinson statue stolen from baseball facility. No, this is a real thing, y'all. I could not believe when I saw it. So y'all see the statue there. A statue honoring baseball icon Jackie Robinson was stolen from outside a youth baseball facility in Kansas this week. Now cops are searching for the scumbags who ran off with it. Local police shared surveillance footage of the heist that went down at League 42's McAdams Park in Wichita early Thursday morning, which appeared to show someone cutting the Robinson tribute at the ankles, put in the back of a truck, and fleeing the scene. So here is the video.
TMZ's new weekly series covers pop culture's biggest stories.
There was never any repercussions.
Revealing Hollywood secrets as only TMZ can.
It's changed the way I see everything.
TMZ Investigates. Stream on Hulu now.
So you see those two right here. You see those two guys going towards the statue right there. And I guess if we're going to sell the bronze, I guess we're going to sell the bronze for money, because, if you, give gold, you can have money for it. But still, like, to cut it off at the ankles, and y'all see the statue there on the ground. Sorry, I'm trying to find my pen. There we go. So y'all see two gentlemen there. So the statue's no longer there. It's just sick, disgusting, and trash. And then there's a truck there. Lord. I mean, really, to have to do this, really. I'm assuming these people were white. I'm going to just assume, because, listen, it is what it is. Black people are not going to take down Jackie Robinson's statue. They're just not. Just bagging it all in, going through the grass and everything. I mean, just no care at all. Now they put it in the back of the truck. It doesn't make any sense at all. And then driving away with it. Well, listen. Wichita police shared an image of what was left of the Dodgers legend bronze statue, just 2 feet standing on top of home plate. The station said the community is devastated with vandalism and is calling on anyone for information regarding on its whereabouts to come forward. League 42 was created in 2013 to help children in Wichita learn about the sport without worrying about high registration fees, with hundreds signing up each year. Robinson's trailblazing career in breaking the Major League Baseball color barrier served as an inspiration for the organization. According to the reports, the league received permission from Robinson's family to erect the statue, which was a part of a pavilion that was dedicated to the athlete in 2021. Well, listen, I mean, when they do find out who did it, consequences will be had. They really will be had. Just tired, trash, tacky, and wrong. Honestly, I sincerely don't know why people are messed up the way that they are, to do heinous things like that. And that's why some families don't want to honor their family members in that capacity, because they have idiots like that. Just, you know how your parents would be upset with you, but they wouldn't have any more words for you because they would just be that disappointed in you. It's pretty much that. It's pretty much that for me. So I just, Lord Jesus, I can't. Okay, hopefully they are found. All right, more to come here on Virtual Tour Live. This comes to us from rollingout.com. Megan Thee Stallion drops scathing diss track hiss. Nicki Minaj responds. The Houston High takes no prisoners in blistering new song. So Megan Thee Stallion just put the naysayers on notice that she's been listening to their sneak disses and had just about enough. In the wee hours on Friday, January 26th, today, her new track Hiss went live across all platforms. And from the very start of the track, she made it clear she did come to play, as she starts with a spoken dialogue of, I just want to kick this ish off by saying, fuck all y'all. I ain't got to clear my name. I ain't got to clear my name of a mother-ucking thing. From there, a laundry list of people, including ex-boyfriend Party Fontaine, Felon Tory Lanez, and especially Nicki Minaj, landing Meg's crosshairs with blistering bars. As expected, Meg's bars from Minaj have garnered the majority of attention, as fans believe the two has been trading subsoul shots for years, especially after Meg repeatedly collaborated with Minaj's sworn enemy Cardi B on hits like WAP and Bongos. These 304s don't be mad at Megan. These 304s mad at Megan's Law. I don't know really what the problem is, but I guarantee y'all know when to start. It's you, you a pussy, never finna check me every chance you get. Bet your weakness won't address me. Megan's Law is the name of a federal law that requires law enforcement to notify when a registered offender moves or travels to a new area. It is named after a 7-year-old New Jersey girl, Megan Kawana, who was raped and offed by a registered sex offender who moved across the street from the Kalena family without their knowledge. The Pink Friday 2 rapper is married to Kenneth Petty, who is required to register as a sex offender due to a 1995 convicted for the first-degree attempted rape of a 16-year-old girl when he was 17. Petty was notably arrested back in March of 2020 after failing to notify California officials of his registered sex offender status after he and Minaj moved there. It appears Minaj may have been waiting on this day to come, because within a couple of hours of his, she went live on Instagram for what appears to be Meg's diss track playing loudly in the background. Minaj had to repeatedly start the track over, as it begins with the opening lines, bad itch, like she's 6 foot. I call her Bigfoot. The itch fell off. I said, get off your good foot. Woo! Shortly thereafter, Megan seemingly responded to Minaj on Instagram herself with a post with a simple picture posted to her Instagram stories of her laughing hysterically, presumably at Minaj's reaction. I mean, Lord Jesus, help me. I mean, just genuinely help me. Lord Jesus. I mean, really, it boggles my mind. And I know some phrases over here, broken records, but like, she gave no dams. You know what I mean? She gave no dams at all of just saying what needed to be said. And Nicki Minaj did respond. Man. So, like I said, I'm not going to play the official lyric music video. But that is Nicki Minaj there and Kenneth Petty there. Just Lord help. And so Nicki immediately went into attack mode after the song dropped, liking several anti-Megan tweets, including many of them that made fun of the size of her feet. So this is just, man. Man. So Nicki Minaj also previewed a new track of her own, which is currently unnamed, and that she recorded almost immediately after hearing Megan's new tracks, and some of the lyrics are scathing. And one line that in particular caught people's attention, Nicki raps, "Bad itch like she's 6 foot. I call her Big Foot. The itch fell off. I said, get off your good foot." Nicki has also been like telling us the memes and pics that pit Megan's feet, which Nicki seems to think are quite large. The bigger shot, though, is the fact that Nicki is referring to Megan being shot by Tory Lanez. Some of her fan base love to hear, but which some have said gone too far. So anyway, in the wake of all this, Bigfoot soon became a trending topic on Twitter, and Nicki hits back further at Megan on Instagram, clowning her flow to make H-Town Hottie sound like some sort of UGK wannabe. Like we said, the back and forth has been brutal. So trending Nicki there. You know, honestly, I sincerely don't get it. You know what I mean? I feel that at this point in life, right, you can't drive looking in the rear view mirror. And Nicki, to be quite honest, a lot of people have said, why are you still with him? Because he is a registered sex offender. So what Megan did is what she did, right? So you can't really be that upset with her, right? That was her First Amendment right to do that. And it is what it is, right? So to me, I just feel honestly that at the beginning, middle, end of the day, both of y'all gotta move forward. Really, both of y'all have to move forward. I mean, y'all got more in front of y'all than behind y'all. Like, Nicki Minaj is a legend, and Megan's a legend. I understand there's an animosity and a mentality and a drive in rap that's different than any other genre, but when it comes to low blows, after a while, there's some words that you can't take back. You know what I mean? So that's just me. So I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to see because it's like 0 people here right now, which is weird. I know I haven't done anything to anybody. Okay. All right. I'm still gonna keep rolling on. I don't know what's going on. So with that being said, let's roll on to this story here. I was trying to get pictures of this for y'all because for some odd reason it will not allow me to do what I really want to do. I'm going to see if it allows me to. Give me a moment, y'all. I'm trying to see something. Okay. Let's. Doggone it. I don't know why it's not allowing me to do it. Shoot. Let me try one more thing, y'all. Give me a moment. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. Okay, hang on. Wait a minute. Let me see if this is it. Okay, I know what it is. I didn't let it load. That's my fault, y'all. That is my fault. Hopefully, all y'all are doing well tonight on a Friday night. Hang on. Okay, one more file here. All right, I think it'll allow me to do it now. I think. Yes, it will. Okay, awesome. Hang on, y'all. Let me get these images up for y'all. Because I'm very proud of this story. Like, when I saw this story, I felt like this is a move that I would do. This is a move that I would do. For sure. So let me show y'all the story here. All right. So Killer Mike praises rising hip hop artist Liltm3n for buying a Honda Accord over squandering his money. This move has sparked conversations about the fiscal responsibility within the hip hop community. This comes to us from Black Enterprise, a noble departure from the wild spending often associated with the hip hop community. Rap icons Killer Mike and Maxo Cream are commending the financial prudence of rising Florida rapper Liltm3n. On January 23rd, the 21-year-old artist took to Instagram stories to showcase his latest acquisition, the Honda Accord, which stands in stark contrast to the lavish spending habits prevalent among his peers. So that comes to us from Hip Hop DX. I'll show you all the pictures in a minute here. Further reinforcing the significance of Liltm3n's choice, Quality Control Music CEO Pierre P. Thomas and Yella Breezy also applauded the move in their replies, recognizing the long-term practicality of such a decision in an industry known for the extravagant displays of wealth. In contrast, hip-hop luminary Fat Joe recently made the headlines for his extravagant purchase, a custom-built Rolls-Royce Cutterline. So we will pull that up just to see what that looks like here. Images. Now it's an all-terrain, all-season SUV. All right, here we go. Now this vehicle here, y'all, this vehicle here is $750,000. Okay. I mean, listen, it's nice. I don't think I would spend, $750,000 on it, though. You know what I mean? If somebody gifted me that, I would be grateful. But I don't know. I would rather have $750,000. That's just me, though. But yeah, allocating an additional $100,000 for the construction of the car's exterior frame, a process that spanned a whole month. William Castro of Unique Whips and Special Editions was the mastermind behind Fat Joe's lavish purchase. According to TMZ, Castro is also responsible for crafting two other Rolls Royces for the New York rapper, including a orange and black one the previous year. Interestingly, Fat Joe's pinches for luxury vehicles is not new. In 2021, the rapper invested approximately $35,000 in restoring LL Cool J's 1986 Audi 5000, a vehicle that hosts historical significance as one of the first lavish purchases after signing a record deal with Def Jam. Stored at his grandmother's home for 3 decades, the vehicle underwent extensive repairs, including new bodywork, fresh paint job, installation of a custom 2-tone black leather interior, and a full engine rebuild. Still, Liltm's decision to prioritize financial responsibility over extravagant displays of wealth is setting a refreshing example in an industry often characterized by excess. This move has sparked conversations about fiscal responsibility and challenging the prevailing norms within the hip hop community. So I do want to show y'all this here. No more asking for rides. I'm rich enough. I got enough money to buy a Benz, but I want a Honda Accord. And here he is here. My first car, fresh off the lot, brand new, bought with my own money. And then here is And then here are some rappers here. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you why this is such a smart move, because honestly, you want your money to be long money. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times, like Fat Joe, he spent $750,000 on a car. But, if you never had it before, you want to get anything, everything, but that doesn't mean that's the thing you need to get, right? So I'm kind of the same way. Like when I do make it, probably the most I'll buy for a house is like maybe what, $5 million, spruce it up, do some Property Brothers renovations to it. And then, I'll probably give me a Honda Accord, and listen, here's Honda right here, $27,895. And here is the interior as it loads up. So here it is here. This is the interior of the Honda Accord, okay? It's a very nice interior. And let me tell you something. Honda has always come out with good cars. They've always come out with good cars. So, like, the thing is, I think sometimes in the world of being famous, you have to play the part. But there's a difference between playing the part and being at peace. And, I'd rather have a, Honda Accord, as nice as this is, for $27,000 paid for in full. You know what I mean? And that's just me. So let's go to the trims here. So you see the trims here, like the highest one, the EX is $29,910. And for all of that, you get, one touch power, moonroof, Apple CarPlay, dual zone climate control, heated side mirrors, heated front seat, power seat. Like, you basically get everything you need. And I think the reason why this conversation has brought up so much in terms of the hip hop community, because it goes to show, why are we putting on so much for an image when we're trying to keep ourselves together behind the scenes and we're going broke because of it? So I feel this brother. Shout out to this brother right here. I think he's doing a wonderful, wonderful job of being able to be frugal. And listen, $29,000 is some money, okay? It is some money. And so, yeah, I'm proud of him, and I would do the exact same thing. So, for sure. All right, more virtual tour live coming at you here. Michael B. Jordan. It might be a while until we learn if Michael B. Jordan will be facing legal repercussions for crashing his $429,000 Ferrari into a parked vehicle. As previously reported in December, the actor made headlines for crashing his luxury vehicle into a parked car in Hollywood, California. Shortly after the incident, an insider claimed that Jordan was embarrassed because he accidentally had his foot on the gas and didn't brake in time. Initially, it seemed that what occurred was an honest mistake. However, video surfaced that appeared to show the Creed star street racing moments before he collided with a blue Kia. As the footage made its rounds online, news broke that the LAPD was investigating the situation. And according to a new report from Radar Online, authorities have no plans of sweeping the crash under the rug. A spokesperson for the Los Angeles Police Department reportedly confirmed to the publication that the investigation is ongoing and law enforcement officers are taking their time with the probe. They added, some things can't be rushed. Seems like an honest mistake. As long as he paid the damages, leave him alone. That's what could happen to a person not in the entertainment industry. I mean, reality. That's true. He could have dropped something and tried to pick it up while driving. Everyone has done that. It doesn't have to do with substance related, which is what I think they want. So they can try to ruin him, taking their time to investigate, say what, he'll be fine, praying for his safety, leave him alone, laughing emojis, residential ordered. So those are the comments there of Michael B. Jordan. Let me see, can I pull up the footage? Let me see if I can pull up the footage of Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan. All right. Let me get this up for y'all here. Okay, so this comes to us from ABC 7. Here we go.
Now at 11, this stunning new video of what is believed to be Michael B. Jordan's Ferrari sideswiping a parked car in Hollywood. You can see it swerve out of control right into that vehicle. This happened earlier this month at Sunset and North Beechwood. Nobody got hurt. The driver of the Ferrari not facing any charges. The LAPD says it's still investigating, and they haven't yet confirmed who was behind the wheel or if Michael B. Jordan was even in the car. Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great in the car.
So there is the Ferrari there. Pretty, I mean, that's pretty shot. I mean, honestly. And they say it was street racing, but I didn't really, I mean, from that clip, I didn't really see too much of racing per se. Let's see. TMZ Racing. Let's see here. Okay, so let me switch to this here so we can see a little bit more here. Give it a moment, y'all.
There was just a crash here, I think. Oh, this Ferrari just crashed. Whoa, this Ferrari just crashed. Dude. Here's the tire. Here's
Oh
the
my
tire.
God.
Whoa. Oh, he hit this parked car here. That Ferrari hit this parked car.
Good Lord.
This is a Kia, and it ripped the tire off.
So they're going down the street. I mean, still intact and everything, but good Lord. Man.
Yeah.
Definitely not this way.
Yeah, we're good.
My man.
So that's Michael B. Jordan there. I think that was security.
We're good.
By the way, I mean, listen, I know security has a job to do, but still, this is public, okay? So not too much on the guy. Not too much on the guy.
It's Michael B. Jordan. It's Michael B. Jordan that's driving it.
That being by a Mexican restaurant, Lord help. I mean, it's a nice Ferrari. I mean, man. By the way, shout out to LA/OC.TV for the footage. Oh. It's a little closer look. I mean, it's the casually pulling it for me. Just casually pulling metal pieces like it's nothing. Like you can't get cut or nothing.
And now, Michael B. Jordan in Michael B. Dragging. You're looking at new video of Michael B. Jordan crashing his Ferrari into another car a couple weeks ago. and we now know what he was doing.
Drag racing on the Sunset Strip.
And in case you can't tell, he lost.
Before the video surfaced, remember, we knew the cops asked him, what happened? And he wouldn't say. Wouldn't say, and they said he wasn't impaired, so he basically, nothing happened.
But now we can fill in the blanks.
So the video shows his Ferrari next to a red Ferrari, and they're racing down
Oh, wait a
Sunset.
minute. Okay, I see the red car now, driving there. But, I mean, I guess how would you be racing if there wasn't a race to begin with? But y'all see it a little bit there. And here it is here. And then crashed into that Kia, sideswiped it. So hopefully everything will be all right with Michael B. Jordan. All right. Have much more coming up for y'all on Virtual Tour Live here. Excuse me. Let me see here. So Snoop Dogg has a new film out. And this comes to us from blackenterprise.com. Snoop Dogg hated cussing kids. Hated cussing out kids in his foul-mouthed sports comedy film. Snoop Dogg's new sports comedy film comes to Amazon Prime, and it's all about paying homage to his hometown in Long Beach, California, in a foul-mouthed type way. Snoop Dogg has a new sports comedy film coming to Amazon Prime, basically the sentence I just said. That's all about paying homage to his hometown in Long Beach, California, in a foul-mouthed type way. The rap superstar stars in The Underdogs, a Bad News Bears-esque flick inspired by the real-life Snoop Youth Football League, which is dedicated to giving underprivileged youth opportunities to play football and cheer. The Long Beach Post reports. Snoop takes on the role of Jakeem 2J Jennings, a former pro football star whose career has seen better days. As a requirement to fulfill his community service, Jennings is tasked with coaching a youth football team described as unruly peewee through the Long Beach Recreation Department, with a comedian cast of Mike Epps, Sumter, Candy Burris, Jennifer Lopez, Andrew Schultz, and Cal Penn. Snoop brings the funny and a whole lot of profanity. Now, I can't show the trailer because I don't want to be struck. But the R, I was about to say the F-rated film, but the R-rated film is riddled with N-words, F-bombs, and profanity, all of which Snoop boldly warns us about the star of the film. The following movie is rated R for language that might not be suitable for children. But all that, y'all know the kids who aren't supposed to be watching this ish curse more than the rest of y'all mother Uncle Snoop said. Hey, Only Zone Adam, welcome and glad to have you here. I mean, is Snoop lying though? I mean, these kids today are just a little out the way, you know what I mean? As funny as the gin and juice rapper is in the film, yelling and cursing at the child actors wasn't easy for him. Snoop admitted how hard it was for him to film the scenes. This is something that he would never do in real life. It looked like I was having fun doing it, but I hated doing that. That's not even me. Snoop told BET when they said cut. I'm like, I can't believe I just talked to them kids like that. Let me go play with them or something. Actress Sumter, who plays Snoop Dogg's on-screen love interest in the film, confirmed the rapper was a complete teddy bear with the kids when the cameras weren't rolling. He would have rap battles with them off camera. She shared he was so good with the kids. It also wasn't easy to find child actors who could swear on camera. That was tricky because, oh Lord, that was tricky. Director Charles Stone III revealed there was a large amount of parents who would not let their child audition. But the kids who showed up, it worked out brilliantly. You know, their parents were fine with it. They understood the context. Snoop Dogg's The Underdogs highlights Snoop's alma mater, Long Beach Polytech High School, and pays tribute to the city that raised him. The movie premieres Friday, January 26th, today on Amazon Prime. So, listen, Snoop Dogg is a real hunk, man. He is a real hunk. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Glad to have all of you here. That is our show. I mean, I covered it in about 39 minutes. I don't know where everyone is. I know that trending at some points doing celebration right now, so that's probably where most of them are. So glad to have, proud of her, happy for her as well. People are still going live about the Melody Cherie thing, and like I said about last night, y'all, I am so sorry that that happened on our platform here. I just. Oh Lord, it was an honest mistake, y'all. I was not trying to have that energy and just, YouTube is not for the faint of heart. It's really not. You have to know who you are when you do this thing, and you're going to make mistakes, but that doesn't mean you are a mistake. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was. It was. Oh Lord, it is what it is. But yeah, that's our show. I'm gonna stay around for at least a little bit here. Get some more stories up for y'all here. Let's see here. Okay, so here's an update for y'all. Oh wow, okay, that's a story. Y'all give me a moment. All right, so y'all remember So You Think You Can Dance and, Nigel Lithgow, he has sexual assault lawsuits with Paula Abdul and some other ladies from All American Girl. So JoJo Siwa is replacing Nigel Lithgow as a judge. JoJo Siwa is returned to So You Think You Can Dance as a judge for the reimagined season 18, who was previously a judge on season 17 in 2022, replaces Lithgow, who stepped down earlier this month in the wake of 2 lawsuits accusing him of sexual assault. Siwa will now join choreographer Allison Holker, who was married to Twitch. God rest in peace to him. Pro dancer Maxim Shakovsky on the show's judging panel. Presenter Arthur Cat Deely hosts the dance competition series, which premieres its 18th season on Monday, March 4th at 9/8 Central, only on Fox. Siwa is a dancer, singer, actor who boasts more than 70 million followers across social media and was named one of Time's most 100 influential people in 2020. Siwa released a EP in 2018 and is currently in the studio recording follow-up. The performer was most recently on Fox as a contestant of season 2 of Special Forces, The World's Toughest Test. And Siwa also made history on another dance competition, ABC's Dancing with Stars, as a part of the show's first same-sex couple in season 30. So You Think You Can Dance season 18 will continue to feature contestants competing in dance challenges with weekly eliminations to a $100,000 grand prize winner. For the first time, the show is also featuring new documentary-style chronicles of the contestants' journey. This reps the second consecutive season that Fox, the show's producers, were forced to swap judges after production got underway. Season 17, Leah Remini was brought in to replace Matthew Morrison after the Glee alum had to exit the judging panel, failing to follow competition protocols at the time. He was reportedly sending private messages to a contestant. In this case, Lithgow, who was an executive producer of So You Think You Can Dance, has been a judge since it began in 2005, left the show after Sony Pictures Television's 19 Entertainment, which co-produces So You Think You Can Dance, has opened up an investigation over the lawsuits against Lithgow. In one lawsuit, Lithgow was accused by Paula Abdul of groping and forcibly kissing her on elevators about 20 years ago. In the second lawsuit, 2 contestants on All American Girl also accused him of forcibly trying to kiss them after a rap part in 2003. At the time, Fox 19 Entertainment Dick Clark Productions, who also produces, wrote in a statement that the upcoming season will proceed, although without Nigel Lithgow, to ensure the show remains committed to the contestants who have worked incredibly hard for the opportunity to compete on our stage. So I figured as much that there would be a update on that. Man, it's quite sad with everything that's going on right now. I feel, I really do feel that as of right now, the world we live in doesn't make any sense, and it's sad. It is quite sad. So, Lord, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. So, yeah. I'm going to try to give y'all at least a full hour here of just different topics. Hayden Panettiere says film in Nashville was traumatizing as writers used her alcoholism and more for storylines. I never cried as much on set. Hayden Panettiere said in a recent interview with The Messenger that film in Nashville, which was on ABC for a very long time, was very traumatizing because I felt like I was acting out my own life. The actor played country pop singer Juliet Barnes on the ABC musical drama, which ran for 6 seasons, 124 episodes from between 2012 and 2018. Panettiere suggested that the show's writers often pull from her real life or craft in Juliet's storylines, which was emotionally traumatizing for her. Storylines used her real life struggle with alcoholism. Straight from the beginning, it was like I'm dating a football player, and then Juliet dates a football player, Panettiere said, and then they turned her into alcoholic. Then they turned her to leaving her daughter and going to this crazy place in Europe. And it was very obvious they weren't doing their homework. They weren't creating new storylines. They were just looking at my life and going, oh, let's just take what she's doing, put our little spin to it. And then ta-da, it's done. It's done and done. Panettiere has been quite vocal over the last few years about her own struggle with alcohol and drug addiction, which is why it hit too close to home for her Nashville character, also having an alcoholism storyline. She said working 12 to 20-hour days on Nashville took a toll on her well-being. Like I told y'all, 12 to 20-hour days, it can be a lot. I didn't have time to take care of myself, to think about and go through the pain I was experiencing physically and emotionally. She says, I just wanted to drum it out and watch mindless television and great shows, anything to keep my mind off of that, because I knew the next day I was going to be back at it again. I was like Tear Central. I don't even think on soap opera that I cried as much as I did on Nashville. Panettiere opened up to People magazine in 2022 about her year-long battle addiction to opioids and alcohol, revealing a member of her team gave her happy pills before red carpets when she was only 15 years old. The actor's addiction worsened from there. They were able to make me peppy during interviews. Panettiere said of the pills she was told to take as a teenager, I had no idea that this was not an appropriate thing or what door that would open me for that, or what door that would open for me when it came to my addiction. Panettiere gained success as a child in soap operas and Disney's popular football drama, Remember the Titans, when Denzel Washington. She achieved greater acclaim with a role as 16 on NBC drama's series Heroes. That series put NBC on the map for a lot of different things. She became a horror favorite with her supportive turn as Kirby in Scream 4. She reprised her role in last year's Scream's VI. I was on top of the world and ruined it, Panettiere said. I think I hit rock bottom, and then their trapdoor that opens. This hasn't been easy. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but I don't regret even the ugliest things that happened to me. I feel incredibly accomplished, and I feel like I have a second chance. You know, the struggles that we all face are not easy, right? Some people, like Panettiere, was going through drugs. Some people are addicted to sex. Some people are addicted to shopping. Some people are addicted to cheating. Some people are addicted to being scammers and catfishes. And I truly feel that at the beginning, middle, end of the day, that's not just what happens to you, but it's how you go through it. That how we think is how we move. And I've been thinking about that recently with my life, of just trying to recognize that you're going to have down moments. Like right now, there's like 0 people here. Is it discouraging? Absolutely. But is it directed at me? No. You know what I mean? And the reason why I am saying myself is because I think a lot of times we look at likes, comments, shares, subscribes, retweets, what have you, and what success is as our bar for ourselves. not recognizing the bar we set for ourselves can be our downfall as well. So I pray for Hayden Panettiere, that she is doing well. And, maybe if Nashville does return to ABC or returns to Hulu, maybe, just maybe, Juliet Barnes can have her daughter grow up and maybe she can make guest appearances. Not to re-traumatize her, but to give her character a new life. I think of, Jeanette McCurdy off of iCarly. And sadly, Paramount Plus canceled that show. I'm just like, really? Why? It was your best show. It was your best show. And I think about Jeanette McCurdy and how she talked about her mom and how her mom pushed her to be the breadwinner for the family. And I was saddened when I didn't see Jeanette McCurdy on the new iCarly. So many kids remember Samantha Puckett being the rebel and with the butter sock and everything else. And when I heard more Jeanette McCurdy's story, I immediately began to feel for her of that as you are being this big, kid star on Nickelodeon, making it everything else. It really does go to show you that not everybody feels successful. You know what I mean? So, but yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let me see. Oh, wow. That's an old post. Oh, that's very nice. Wow. Oh, that's very nice. No, sorry, y'all. So so on Instagram earlier today, Princess Tiana's Bayou Adventure is coming out. We talked about it here on Virtual Tour Live. And I said to Disney Parks, actually, I'll just show y'all real quick. Because I really did mean it. I really did. So let me show y'all this here. So that's the new Disney pin. So for those of you who may not know, there is a Disney pin collection. And so that is the pin. And you have that was, that could have been used in the attraction, right? So to talk about the ways that you can celebrate different ways of Black History Month. So new Princess Tiana's pin inspired by, Walt Disney Imagineering, Me and Grace with Tiana, Ariel, Asha, Cooking with Soul, items from Walt Disney World Chefs, Michael James Scott, The Magic Kingdom on February 6th, and music art performances. So what I said was this. I said, Disney Parks, I wish the grand opening for this app, Purple Carpet, premiere was streaming live on Disney Plus, Hulu, and ABC Network. I really would love to host it. I think that this attraction is going to bring out so many joyful tears and connect so many emotions that needs to be broadcasted live. Can we talk for real? Like, I'm not playing. Now, even though I didn't get a lot of likes, you see a lot of people are really excited about it. And that person there liked my comment. Sometimes it is hard to keep going in life sometimes. And I think I try my very best in what I do to always give something of goodness, something of gratitude, something of graciousness. I've never really fit into anybody's box, never really fit into society. And, to be honest with you, I am, I'm saddened, I'm saddened that, in the world that we live in today, that, in the words of Tim's story, the shout can be taken out of you. That you don't want to feel anything, that you don't want to move, you don't want to become anything. And I think to myself, the power of your voice and your words and your actions and everything else like that, it really does boggle my mind that, with this attraction that's to come, how many people were upset about, Splash Mountain being taken out. And I think sometimes in life, we get so caught up of the change. Hey, Nikki News, welcome in. Glad to have you here. We get so caught up in the change of what's happening in the world that we don't appreciate that there's something new on the horizon, right? And when I heard Princess Tiana's Bayou Adventure coming, the first thing I thought was how blessed are we to be in a society where, I'm going to try not to cry, how blessed we are in a society that Black families can go meet a Black princess, that we can live in a world where Creole food can be celebrated, and how cool it is to live in a world that Imagineers can design a beautiful pen and design a beautiful experience that every Black little girl and every Black young man and Black individual and minority indigenous people of color will be able to see themselves on this ride. And I think for the fans that are so upset about Splash Mountain not being there anymore, I think you forgot Walt Disney's vision that as long as there's imagination left in the world, Disneyland will never be complete. That Disney is about storytelling. And so I'm looking forward to the day that this opens. And I know that, the opening day is going to be huge. The lines will be wrapped around. And I know Princess Tiana, Anika Nani Rose will be there. And I feel that cast, when they do ride it, I feel like there's going to be a lot of tears for them, because there's not too many times that what you do will live on, right? And so this attraction will live on two different coasts in the United States. And you think about back then with blackface, right? And minstrel shows and the Chitlin Circuit. For those of you who don't know what the Chitlin Circuit is, think about this. Radio City Music Hall, Madison Square Garden, those big theaters. The Chitlin Circuit is like comedy clubs and holes in the wall and places that were only approved to be in the Green Book. And the Green Book was a book that gave you the guide where you can go as a Black person. So to go from a Green Book in the Chitlin Circuit and from blackface and to not being respected to this beautiful, beautiful image here. And by the way, shout out to Brittany L. Smith. To go from all that to seeing Princess Tiana there. To seeing Princess Tiana. Seeing herself. And the fact that this was carefully curated and created. I mean, you see Tiana's place there, right? Okay. I think the reason why I'm getting so emotional is because you wish for a world where there wasn't no negativity, where there wasn't no strife, where there wasn't no chaos. And as you wish for that, there are days where you get glimpses of that, but the next day you're crashed right back down to earth. And I think the thing that keeps me going is the fact that we live in a society where dreams can come true like this. So to the Imagineers, and to even Bob Iger and the Disney company, thank you for making this attraction. Thank you for making Princess Tiana. But most of all, thank you for recognizing the responsibility of storytelling. So I'm going to try not to cry on that note. I'm going to turn off my camera because I've done the whole show for an hour. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. Usually there's more people here, but I'm not going to let that deter me. You know what I mean? I think there might be people watching other streams, which is totally fine. I know that, 6 o'clock is a very hot time. I tried to find a time where everybody will be available. You know what I mean? But yeah, so. But yes, indeed, I'm going to drop the link for y'all to chat if you guys want to come on up. I know it's only one person here, but I wanted to at least give y'all a full show, as I often do around here. There we go. The link is pinned. I appreciate the love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think yesterday kind of took a hit for me as well, sadly. And I think that's why I'm almost kind of tearing up about, Princess Tiana. That even though, we have microaggressions and we go through things, we do get experiences like this. So yeah, I'm very excited for Princess Tiana to come to Disney World and Disneyland this year. Like I said, that that grand opening is going to be quite emotional for a lot of people. I really mean that. It's going to be quite emotional for a lot of people. And I'm excited about it. I really am. How are you, Nikki News? Hopefully all is well with you. Hopefully all is well with you. I'm still here, you guys. I'm chilling out with y'all. My Lord. Still at work. Yes, it's been a long week. It's been a long week for sure. I mean, just, thinking about this week. Thinking about this week as a whole, just from Martell doing what he did, doxing his ex-wife, to, T.I. and what he's done, and Tiny and Cat Williams, and it's just been a lot. And I do wonder sometimes about the molecular structure. Yes, I know I use molecular and put soul in front of it. Don't at me, y'all. But I do wonder about the molecular structure of us as a people. Because sometimes I feel like these things that we go through sometimes seem a little too much to carry. They always say, God gives his strongest test to his strongest soldiers, but I don't know if God knows sometimes the wars that go on down here. It goes back to that quote of, does God stay in heaven because he's in fear of what he created? And I never really thought about that quote before, but I do think about that quite often. Is the reason why we kind of stay to ourselves, of ourselves, and by ourselves is because we're in fear of what we see. really think about, are we in fear of what we see? And I feel that it is, on one side of the coin, protecting your mental health. But then on the other side of the coin, I think you do get so bogged down in just being tired, that it's just better not to care. And I never want to get to the point in life where I don't have feelings, I don't have thoughts, I don't have perspective, because the day that happens, that's the day I'm not living life. That's the day I'm not engaging with life. That's the day I'm not receiving the best from my life. You know what I mean? And I think these conversations need to be had more often. You know what I mean? I really do. I think a lot of times we sweep things under the rug just to be okay mentally when we're not okay. And it's okay not to be okay. It really is. It really is. I think we suppress how we feel to get through the day. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think where it gets a little tiring is when we allow our emotions to run us and we don't run our emotions. I think of the movie Inside Out and how every emotion is a actual person. And how do you balance all those things out? And best thing to do is to recognize that you are in control. I think that's the best thing to do, is recognize that you are in control. I hope that made sense. Somebody probably needed to hear it today, honestly. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm just looking over some notifications here. A lot of people are live right now. Um, there's another video call from phone calls from prison. And Lord help, I mean, it's a series that doesn't stop going, you know what I mean? So I am glad that Shirley is finding her strength, you know what I mean? I haven't really covered a lot about that on the channel. I mean, I did cover it with the Steve Harvey. Yeah, phone calls from prison is absolutely amazing. Absolutely love her. I did cover the Strawberry Letter on when the Steve Harvey Morning Show did it. And I was very thorough with my notes. Like, me and T-Talk, we talk all the time. And so I was recording it, live, because, in radio, they do it in segments, right? So they would cut to break, come back to break. What happened to Shirley could happen to anyone. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's why I've been recognizing with all these divorces, whether you are in your 20s or you are in your 70s, everybody, I do mean everybody, struggles with love. They struggle with relationships. They struggle with being felt and being embraced and being seen. You know what I mean? So actually, let me pull that up. That's the one good thing about your own content. You can pull up your own content. It's like myself saying, huh? Let me go to that channel. Let me go to my channel here. Oh wow, look at that. 130 oh, sorry, y'all can't even see it. Look at that. 130 views on the own. I need y'all to come down right now. Actually, you know what? Let me see something real quick. Hang on. Let me see something. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to this picture. I'm proud of this brother here for getting a Honda Accord. He's a rap artist that got a Honda Accord where he could have got a Mercedes Benz. So let me see something with the Oprah Winfrey Network real quick, because y'all remember, how I called out OWN for having, for having the Ready to Love, preview, right? Or after show. So let me see. Yep, they're still doing it. Are you serious? After I called OWN out. After I called OWN out, they still doing it. Are you serious? Are you serious? And it's still at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. I'm done. I'm done. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. Okay. All right. So let me get up here. It's been a minute since I went to good Lord, I got so many episodes of Virtual Tour Live. It's ridiculous, y'all. Good thing is I know my thumbnails very well. All right, here it is here. Okay, hang on, y'all. So I'm going to bring it back here. I'm going to bring it back here. All right, let me share this tab instead. And here we go, y'all. So this was my review of Shirley Strawberry in the letter. So here we go. Well, hello, and a good morning to all of you. Welcome in, y'all. It is now time for a very special edition of Braylon Lee's Virtual Tour Live. You saw the thumbnail. 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 Y'all ready? Hashtag Mike is hot. The Steve Harvey Morning Show was on this morning. Good morning, Linda Gamble. Good morning, everybody. I hope all is well. It's a very special edition of Virtual Tour Live. Now, I just want to say everything's alleged in my opinion for entertainment purposes only. I just want y'all to know that, I was up this morning listening to the whole show. And let me get myself adjusted because I need to come on camera for this because, I cannot imagine what it is to be in a situation where your life is everyone else's life. And, I have not covered this on my channel. People have, said, Brandon, you're going to cover it. I believe it's better placed rather in third place than be placed in first. Because sometimes you can get your facts wrong. Amen. So, welcome in, everybody. Glad to have all of you here on this morning. So, y'all, I have how many pages of notes? Let me look. 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of notes. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's get to it. So I listened to this on the iHeartRadio app this morning. 107.5 WDAS FM in Philadelphia. Shout out to Philly. So it starts off with Steve Harvey saying that, you know, he's dealt with rumors and gossip, but it's different when it comes from you. He had no idea of what Shirley was going to say, and the radio family did talk about it, and Shirley's in control of this. And, you know, I want to address something from the top, because Steve says this later, but I want to address this at the top. You know, he said that most of the bloggers are Black people that he tries to uplift. I cover media, culture, social capital. And I listen to the morning show because I believe truly that if one side can be heard, the other side needs to be heard. So I wrote down 4 pages of notes, Steve. I'm going to just do it right now, just to show you. And I'm not trying to make myself distinctive or nothing to get your praise, but I wrote down all these notes just to show you that I'm not trying to drag. I'm trying to give your side, because I believe that fair is fair. So with that being said, Shirley said her husband is in jail since 2022. You know, Shirley did talk about Steve being winded up the stairs and how Mark looks at the radio crew as the help. When this came out, you know, the timing was very bad with this, and Shirley said that, you know, with the way it came out, it looks like everybody was going to Steve with this information. It was like everybody was piling on Steve. Shirley said she was trying to stand by her man. They've been married for 8 years, and she had no idea that this was happening. Steve did not introduce Shirley to Ernesto. I'm going to say that one more time. Steve did not introduce Shirley to Ernesto. It was through a mutual friend, an ex-friend now. She felt stupid. She felt ashamed. She felt betrayed. She moved in with friends. She lost her home, her truck. She was supposed to go to see the fireworks on July 4th. They did not happen. But she said what did come was thunderstorms. It was a metaphor for what is to come. Now, my take on the opening is, listen, I think, and look, and like I said, I'm speaking of this. Good morning, Beverly Childs. Good morning, Live, Laugh, Love. Good morning, Nikki News. Good morning, Camera Girl. Good morning, Kim Howard Menendez. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, May May. Good morning, everybody coming in. I appreciate y'all being here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. You know, I'm speaking of this at 29 years old, right? And Shirley is 68. Hey, Talk with Solana. Good to see you, Queen. I'm talking about this from a 29-year-old point of view, right? And at the end of the day, I have a saying about my job. You know, there's no rehearsal, just live TV. And, you know, my mom said to me that in a marriage, there's 3 different sides. There's who you are as a person. There is your partner, who they are as a person. And then there's y'all together. You're not always around your partner. So I'm not defending Shirley. I'm just saying that when Shirley's doing what she's doing, that doesn't mean she knows everything about Ernesto. And sometimes your partner doesn't share everything with you. Because guess what? Y'all remember the Ashley Madison affair that's on Hulu right now, of how there were so many people that had an Ashley Madison account and not tell their partner. Now everybody knows everything. So I just wanted to give that clarification there. I felt that, you know, and I said this on their Instagram, that I hope that they don't say, call in at 877-29 Steve. I am glad that they did not do that because the phone lines would have been jammed. And who in their right damn mind is that alert at 8 o'clock in the damn morning? There would have been bloggers, some haters, and some people who want to support, but the question may have came off in a rude way live on a nationally syndicated radio show to 7.5 million people. It may have came across the wrong way. So I'm glad they did not open up the phone lines. I told them that on their Steve Harvey FM Instagram. So Shirley got a call from the jail, and she was ignoring it because she doesn't really take phone calls from jail. She's never dealt with any of this. And he was in Fulton County Jail, Ernesto. And Shirley thought that he was getting out in a couple of days. It's became 1 year. She had no idea that the tape would be released. She has not talked to him in a long while, and divorce proceedings are underway. I'm going to read that 2 more times because, like Steve said, the bloggers are, well, most of the bloggers are black, and they try to drag them down. I'm giving this for transparency because not everybody was up this morning. Divorce. She has not talked to him in a long while, and divorce proceedings are underway. She has not talked to him in a long while. Divorce proceedings are underway. That's what Shirley said this morning, the Steve Harvey Morning Show. She thought about how she could lose her job. She thought about how she could face Steve Harvey. There's a term that Steve Harvey came up with when they were in LA called reality radio. Good morning, Tea Talk with your girl. Glad to have you here, Queen. Whew. The term reality radio, they were just saying that they wanted to put the real in reality and bring it to the radio. And Shirley said this is as big as it gets. By the way, y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share this out because I don't know if anyone else is doing this, but people deserve to know the other side. Okay. So they've been friends for a long time. For those of you who don't know, you guys know them as a nationally syndicated radio show, but they've been on since 2005 when they were in Los Angeles, California, when they were under Radio 1 and they only had 4 stations. So Steve was going to say something, but Shirley continued. I think Steve was trying to just say, well, you know, we're just here for you. I think that's probably what he was going to say, but Shirley continued. She thanked the radio crew and Steve for providing a space for her. She came to work every day so she could be herself, and there were tears. I want to give y'all some context because, you know, I come from a radio broadcasting background. In the media world, you spend 12, 14-hour days, some days, depending on your schedule. That crew, Steve Harvey, Shirley Strawberry, Carla Farrell, nephew Tommy, and Kevin Spacey Jr. And also, even though J. Anthony Brown's no longer with the show, I'm going to mention J. Anthony Brown because he was a part of the morning show for a minute. Those guys have been together 4 hours a day, 5 days a week for over 20 years, 2 decades. That's a family. And, you know, families are complicated. They're layered in very complicated, complex, and layered. That's what I'm trying to say. And so the reason why I was looking forward to this was because at the end of the day, out of all the jobs that Steve Harvey has, he said this, I think it was in the Black Enterprise area, if I'm not mistaken. He said out of all the jobs that he would never give up, he said, I will never give up the radio show because it's 4 hours to begin to be me. And, you know, there comes a point in time where when you first get into the industry that you get the big contracts and, you know, you're finally getting recognized and people are embracing you. But you got to remember something. I think this is a principle of life. everything that has happened to us that's been a blessing, there's a 99.9% chance of it not happening for you. But if that 1% happens, you're responsible for that. So I could imagine what Steve Harvey was thinking, what Shirley, Tommy, Junior, Carla were thinking. Now, if they brought this to the show, what will iHeartRadio say? What will Premier Network say? The people that, distribute the syndicated morning show. And, you can say a lot of things about Steve. That, he's controversial with his dating tips. He didn't treat his ex-wife right. He does mention some facts about his marriage. And that he made a lot of mistakes. But the one thing he did today is he made sure that there was a space for the other side to be heard. He did not have to mention this on his radio show. Because back then in the 90s, this would have been the end of the morning show. But because of Steve Harvey's social capital, and because how many people love this morning show, he was able to recognize, listen, the people that will love this morning show will be here. And for the people who don't, they never loved it anyway. And he recognized that doing the right thing is bigger than the bottom line of a bank account. And for that, I can't fault him and Shirley and Tommy and Carla and Junior for what they did today. So that's the reason why I feel like there were tears there, because she thought about all those memories from going from 4 stations to being a national syndicated radio show. So, Steve said that he would address Steve and Marjorie. He will address, him and Marjorie rather. The calls came out October of 2022. He said the devil is busy and looks like this is going to go into the 9 o'clock hour. Steve Harvey said, and I quote, "We've been knowing about this." Him, Shirley, of course, because she's at the center of this, nephew Tommy, Carla Farrell, and Junior, they've been knowing about it, but they did not want to meddle in their marriage. And, I know a lot of people, and when we think about this from a social context, we can think about Melody Cherie. Hello, Miss Keep. Hi, good morning. We can think about this with Melody Cherie, right? All of those people somehow knew that Hotel Hold, who goes through every hotel floor, does what he wants to do, but doesn't want to pay the bill. Good morning, Rosemary. Good to see you. That they knew, but didn't tell Melody. And there's a person, I'm not going to mention their name, but they were a huge part of this. And a lot of people got onto her about how she should have handled telling Melody. However, with this situation, I think it's a little bit deeper, because that person with Melody did not have any direct contact, connection, or linkage to Melody. This radio family has been together for over 20 years. So if you're going to bring something, you better bring it with receipts. And I think they were thinking about her feelings and how happy she was just to have somebody in her corner. And, my friend MC from the Onyx collab, he said something about that really stuck with me. He said in a quote, "There are different levels for your life. Me at 29, getting on to 30, I want to, get married. I want a family. I want the career. I want to be able to bring out of me everything that was poured into me." But him being 50, but he don't look 50 though. Black don't crack, okay? He said, "I've already raised my kids. The next person I get, I just want for me." I think that's something that we forget about in relationships. There's different levels to relationships. So when some people say they don't want kids, some people don't want kids because of their trauma that they had as a child. Some people don't want kids because they know that they're selfish. I'll give a prime example. Whoopi Goldberg, when she was sitting down with the legendary Barbara Walters, God rest her soul. And I think Barbara asked her a question about, did you ever feel bad as a mother that you went so hard for your career? I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically the question. And Whoopi Goldberg was real about it. And much respect to her for this. She was like, yeah, I hated being away from my kids, but I had a shot and I took it. And we cannot blame somebody for doing what they need to do for them to make it. Because had Whoopi not taken that shot, what the world could have been without Whoopi Goldberg? What would her family's life be without the move that she made? So what I'm saying to you all is this: Shirley had her kids grown, and she just wants somebody in her corner. Is what Ernesto did was right? Absolutely not. And by the way, too, I want to give a shout out to phone calls from prison. I know that, Steve mentioned that there was a female blogger. No, the blogger's name is Phone Calls from Prison. Because without those tapes, people have known for a while. But it's one thing to know of something. It's another thing to know something concretely. So, with that being said, I think we should not rag on Shirley so much because she's 68 years old. And there's more behind her than in front of her. And I think if I was 68, I would want somebody in my corner too. Because it's already hard to come into the world as your own individual, not knowing who you're going to be and trying to discover that process of your own identity. And you don't want to be the last person leaving this world, because you came into the world with people, and it would be so sad not to feel like somebody doesn't care about you, regardless of what age you're at. So, with that being said, let's get back to this thing, y'all. Mississippi Monica, she is a producer on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. She was the main contact. So Steve, Shirley, Carla, nephew, and Junior, they learned everything through Mississippi Monica. They did not rehearse what they were going to talk about. They did not write out how they were going to talk about this. Like I said, Shirley said that she was embarrassed, humiliated, stupid, and she felt stupid. Those were the biggest words that she said of terms of her thought and her emotions and her movement of how she felt about her being in this situation. And she believes that Steve, Carla, Tommy, Junior are family. If they would have came to her, that she would have opened up. And they do talk offline, but she just didn't have the words. Good morning, Scorpion Men's. Glad to have you here. And listen, you know what? I'm going to say I agree and disagree with that, with Shirley, that if they would came to her, that she would have opened up, because it's still her situation, right? And just because we've been together 20 years doesn't mean that I'm ready to talk about it. But I also do believe that she would have opened up, because it would have been easier for her to open up to them than if she came on Braylon Lee's YouTube channel. So listening to it on the iHeartRadio app, they will play music as an interlude, right? And so sometimes you'll miss things. And so when it came back, Steve said that, Marjorie is on baby watch because they're about to have another grandchild. Praise God. Hallelujah. And amen for that. And Marjorie said that she did not want to get into it. And Steve said the devil sends his imps to people that he already has under his control. And the way it came out made it look like Shirley was piling on. That wasn't what she was trying to do, but it was what it was. Steve Harvey said they're not a blog, they are a real media platform. And they got chosen to be the morning show. and that each one of them coming with something different. Junior with sickle cell anemia. And Junior's been very transparent about that. I didn't know this, but nephew Tommy had thyroid cancer. Carla with her family, all the issues that could be of her family. And then Steve is Steve, you know what I mean? And so he said he was going to clear some things up that on the record that he had not said before. And then Shirley said that he was long-winded. Shirley Strawberry. By the way, y'all, she is from Arkansas. Shirley Strawberry. I love you. People love you. But in that moment, that was not the move. To me, that was not the move. Because, like, he already heard it on the call. Now, to be told that you are that you were winded on a nationally syndicated radio show with Joe Boss live, saying that live, that wasn't the move. But at the same token, I can't tell you how to move, because y'all bring, as Steve Harvey would say, it's inspirational, it's uplifting, it is about helping people, but it's ignorant from time to time. But I don't believe he should have said that. That's just my thing. But anyway, Steve and Marjorie talked about this, and Marjorie said, let it go. But Steve saw her pain, and he's tired of the blogs. It's mostly black people that's trying to tear him down. Let's say this one more time. These are the notes, Steve. I think I'm being very fair and transparent. Come on, baby. Being very fair and transparent. So it's now all black people. Now all skin folk are kinfolk, Steve. It's just the ones we got to watch out for. And some are showcasing their representative. Whew. And some people, when people show you who they really are, believe them the first time, the words of Maya Angelou. All right. So, this pain has been felt for a few months. And he was talking about his wife, that she hasn't felt this pain for a few months. That's been 17 years. That's how long Steve and Marjorie have been married. He said that he was not going to recap this letter anymore. He was sick of the strawberry letter. There was a song called Pick Up Your Feelings by Jasmine Sullivan. If y'all do not know that song, listen to the lyrics. It played on my station that I was listening to. But I felt like that was played to let Ernesto know to pick up his feelings. I felt like also, too, that was a shot at everybody who's going to spend this. So pick up your feelings, because I don't give a damn about them. Music is a very powerful tool and a dangerous weapon. So these are some facts that Steve Harvey said about his marriage. The divorce was over from his ex-wife, Mary Harvey. The divorce was over when The Kings of Comedy came out. 2005, he lost his Los Angeles radio show and the one TV show he had. Now I'm trying to think. I don't think this was when the WB was on, because on the WB, he had a show called Steve Harvey's Big Time Challenge, and then those people moved to AGT, and he always has said, had he secured the rights, that he would have had the AGT franchise. And then Steve Harvey's Big Time was a decent show for what it was, but I don't know if that was a show. Steve reconnected with Marjorie in 2006, New Year's Eve. Marjorie was with her kids in Hawaii, and they were talking about marriage, and Marjorie wanted to get married, and Steve said, I'm not ready yet, I gotta get some things together. She said, I don't care, I'll go in there with you. They were married in 2007. They have like I said to y'all, they have 4 stations in Los Angeles, and they built it station by station, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second, connection by connection. In 2008, there was a person within his camp, a part of his accounting camp, his team, that there were 7 years of tax returns that were not sent to the IRS, and Steve owed $22 million. He said this on his radio show this morning. And Marjorie was in there with him when that happened. 2009, Family Feud came about. For those of you who don't know, Family Feud was not always in Atlanta. It originally taped at Universal Studios, Florida. Then, because the ratings were the ratings, they moved it to the Georgia World Congress Center. And then later on, they moved it to Lift Studios, which is a movie studio rather, that is owned by the Kathy family, the Chick-fil-A family, and that's where Black Panthers and Marvel movies were made. And then they also, I think they might have this tapings in LA too. But anyway, that's when Family Feud and the book came out in 2009. And 2012 was the daytime talk show from NBC Universal. So to give y'all some context on that, it was a very fast uprise for Steve Harvey, because not only did Family Feud and the book come out, but the movie Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man came out, produced by the Woolpacker. Excuse me, that movie came about, and then he was doing Oprah's Life Class, and he was getting more gigs, and he was a contributor on Good Morning America. And for those of you who are wondering, because people have said, Steve Harvey really isn't involved in the radio show as much as he used to be. That radio show was all he had back then. So he had partnerships with Kmart. He had partnerships with Sears as well. And not to mention, they would do live remotes. So if y'all don't know what a live remote is, absolutely, Linda Gamble. He had his own court show on ABC for sure. So for those of you who don't know what a remote is, it's basically just taking the show on the road. So, he would broadcast live from Walt Disney World with Dreamers Academy that him and Essence teamed up to do, and applications I think right now are open. Basically what it is, if you have a high schooler that's in high school, if they get in, they get an all expense paid trip to Walt Disney World, where they're celebrity mentors and they get to explore their gifts and talents through the platform of Disney. And it's a wonderful time. I never got into Dreamers Academy, unfortunately, but there's a lot of good to Steve. And I think, if we want to talk about the bad, we also got to talk about the good. But he would do remotes from there. He did remotes from Choice Hotels. I think they were like in Miami, I think. But also too, he did live broadcasts from Essence Fest. So Steve Harvey was more involved with his radio show back then because he had more time to do it. But when you got, a game show that shoots 200 episodes in 8 weeks, and you got a dating book that's high, you got, a movie franchise that's building, and then, you're booking all these appearances, and you got a daytime talk show, and then you got little big shots, and you got, Steve Harvey's Thunderdome. You don't have as much time as you used to. So yeah, I want to give that context, right? And then the talk show, right? Talk show came out in 2012. That was Ricky Lake. That was Jeff Probst. That was I'm trying to think. That was Ricky Lake. That was Jeff Probst. I'm trying to think who else. Oh, Katie Couric. Lord help, Katie. You were going to the Today Show, but child, that talk show was dry. I'm sorry. Like I don't mean that in a bad way, but like, the Sheryl Crow song, "Are you ready for this day?" Like it just. But out of all those talk shows, Steve Harvey's was the one that lasted the longest, because originally the talk show was going to be taped in Atlanta. He wanted to tape in Atlanta because his radio show was in Atlanta, so he tried to keep everything together. And yes, the talk so I'm about to get to that, Linda. Thank you for bringing that up, Queen. So the talk show got to Chicago, and it originally wasn't going to go to Chicago, but there was a particular meeting that was had with Steve and an executive from NBC about how, Chicago is home to talk shows. They are built for it. Not to mention the last person who had a talk show was Oprah Winfrey. And Chicago audiences for a talk show are way different than Los Angeles audiences for a talk show. And so he recognized that, okay, you know what? I may not get celebrities all the time. Let's just deal with everyday people, because guess what? I'm a dad. I'm a brother. I'm an uncle. I'm a nephew. I'm a little bit of everything to everybody. I'm going to bring on everyday people. I'm going to use my celebrity to help people. And I'm going to bring the funny 5 days a week. Genius. Absolutely genius. One of my favorite segments was a segment called Harvey's Heroes. And he was a spokesperson for Green Dot. And what would happen is if you got on Harvey's Heroes, you got a Letterman jacket with a Harvey's Heroes logo on the back, your name stitched on the jacket. And then he gave you $5,000 on a reloadable Green Dot prepaid card. So, very successful show. Very successful show. And so he wanted more ownership in his show. So he was working with WME William Morris and IMG. So he wanted more ownership. NBC Universal, Edamall, which Edamall, Shine America, they produced Big Brother and many other shows. That was their first daytime talk show that they've ever produced. And so he wanted more money. They didn't want to budge. So he moved out to LA. We had more ownership. Oh my God. Yeah, and you know what? Let me just say this too. Beverly Childs, thank you for your service. And you're absolutely right. He did so many theme shows. He had the military. He had town halls. One of the biggest events was season 4. And he had, I think 200 women on stage with him. And ever since the show happened, he wrote Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man for his daughters. And so, they built the talk show based around his book of giving everyday advice to people. And so he had, 200 women on stage with him. And, he said, hey, listen, you guys have been asking me for advice ever since I came on TV. And guess what? We don't have, and he used to do it in his studio, right? And it was, I think most audiences for talk shows are like 200, 300 people. I think it might have been 200 in his studio. They might have been some middle stage. Studios are not always as big as their peer. They just know how to do the right camera angles. But he said, today we don't have 100 nor 200. We have 2,000 men here this day of today. And they're going to give their honest opinion about dating, relationships, and beyond. It's what men and women think. The event. That clip is still up on YouTube. I felt that his Chicago show was probably his best work of him being on TV, because it forced him to be able to diversify his gift. I'm gonna say it again. It forced him to diversify his gift. So from all of the different shows he had, and not to mention too, he did Universal Orlando Week, where there was a family that had never been on vacation. And, it was like a little cross-country road trip. And, Steve babysat the kids. It was funny as all get out. And this was a white family. And the dad said, I don't know if this would have ever happened to me. And, a lot of people get on Steve about crying. That, and listen, men have feelings too. His birthday edition of his show, he was a carpet cleaner. He did many jobs. He was a carpet cleaner. He was a boxer. He did sales. And there was a carpet cleaning business. And that couple that helped him out was on his show. He broke down crying because it's been so long since he's seen them. And one thing I can say about Steve from what I've seen, my mom has said this quote to me: people may not remember what you say, they may not remember what you do, but they always remember how you made them feel. Steve remembers the people that helped him out along the way. He said, hey, listen, I made it now. So I'm going to fly you and your man out and want to see y'all. So I really felt I really felt his Chicago show was best. He had a Mother's Day show. He didn't want to honor his mom because he knew how emotional it was going to be. And he said that, she was a Sunday school teacher. Y'all know the story. And he said, I haven't done everything right in my life. But I hope that as she's looking down now, that she's proud of her son. He walked off that set with that segment. And not to mention, too, when he got his street renamed after him. And he saw his mama's house. Say what you want to about Steve. But that Chicago talk show brought the most soul out of him. So then we get to LA. And he said he wanted to bring late night to the middle of the day. First of all, Steve, respectfully, nobody asked you to do that. Respectfully and disrespectfully, nobody asked you to do that. Your Chicago show had the most soul to me. I feel like you were trying to be the Black Ellen. You wanted to do late night TV in the middle of the day. You didn't have to be the Black Rosie O'Donnell. You did. You have a natural gift of taking an inch, finding the funny, and making it a show. That was your gift. And yes, the show did very well, was fourth placed in the ratings. But I still feel like, if you're going to move to LA, say, hey, y'all, you know what? I want more money and ownership because I've worked hard for it. I love Chicago, but these winters it's too much for me. And also, too, I want to be more free because my kids are basically grown. And that celebrities don't want to fly to Chicago. I think people would have understood if you would have took the format of what you did for your everyday talk show and brought to LA, it would have been big. Because guess what? That would have been the talk show where everyday people got to be treated as stars. That's just me. So we get to all of that, right? And then Little Big Shots is taken away. As Linda Gamble said, Kelly Clarkson took over. And then, of course, when his talk show was taken away, he came back on Facebook Watch. And by the way, y'all, yours truly is on Facebook Watch. That's right. I was on the Steve on Watch when he was doing his episodes from the house. So anyway, so to go from losing everything to being a household name, for Marjorie to stay there, come on, y'all. But anyway, as we get to the end of this review, I'm going to drop the link so y'all can come because I know y'all got a lot to say. And I know I have a lot to hear from y'all. As they get to the end, all the crew is proud of Shirley. And, Nephew Tommy, as ignorant as his behind is, the prank phone call day was at the bottom of the pyramid. And he was talking about how, there was going to be a dog that was going to be at the base because they didn't want to throw her, fluffy behind in the air. And the mom was going off, rightfully so. It's one thing to attack a papa bear, attack a mama bear, you will be deep. You will be gone. So the call kept coming, and kept going, and evolving. And Nephew Tommy said, "This is Nephew Tom from Steve Harvey Morning Show. Was a friend that pranked." It was a friend that pranked her. And so when they got done with the phone call, Steve was like, "Now listen. Let your kids be at the bottom of that pyramid because nobody wants to throw their thick behind up and be with broken bones and everything." I'm like, Steve, you can't say that, dude. They're kids, man. Like, just, I was like, oh, Jesus. Like, no. But I bring up that prank phone call to say this about Nephew Tommy. Nephew Tommy said that, everyone on that show has said things probably about each other that, Steve has probably said, I can't stand Tommy's behind. Or that, Steve said, I can't stand Nephew Tommy's behind. Or, Junior's like, there are times where I say, or Nephew Tommy says, I can't stand Junior's behind. And you know what, Junior, shout out to Junior. He was really real. He was like, you know what, there are times where I can't stand you, Tommy. I said that to somebody before I got into work this morning. I'm like, you know what, y'all. Y'all are crazy, but I understood why nephew Tommy said it, because at the end of the day, right, at the beginning, the middle, end of the day, we all have said things private. There's some people I can't stand. Now, I've said some things about them, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean my thoughts should be broadcast, though. And we all talk about each other. So I appreciate nephew Tommy giving that context, because it's true. You know what I mean? And so, Steve Harvey said that we don't live in a forgiving world anymore. That's a cruel world. It's a fallen world. I will agree and disagree. I will agree that that's very true, that we are quick to judge. We are very holding of grudges. And we are cruel in how we treat each other. Is it a fallen world? Absolutely. I think that the earth is a personification of heaven and hell. For all the good that there is, that's heaven. For all the bad that there is, that's hell. But I disagree with Steve, because the world can't be that bad. I know Lizzo's going through what she's going through right now with her lawsuit. But she said something at the Primetime Emmys that I want to bring up. That, she growing up wanted to see herself. She wanted to see a black, fat girl with her soul in this world. And she looked around and looked around and looked around and looked around. Just like, I'm not seeing anybody. And you know what she said? She went to the mirror one day and she said, well, guess what, bitch? It's going to have to be you. And so, Steve, I disagree with you. Because guess what? I think we all have wanted the change we wanted to see in the world from our point of view, ever since we had the thought of wanting to change the world. And I disagree with you, Steve, that it's a fallen world, because guess what? Me and you have to look in the mirror and say, guess what? It's going to have to be us. And for the fact that 1%, because like I said, everything in this life that's good, there's a 99.9% chance of it not happening. But for somehow, by the grace of God, that 1% happened for you. It happened for me, and it happened for all of my virtual trials, my virtual tour family, and for everybody that's trying to do good. We need to be able to recognize that even though it's a fallen world, it's also a lifting world as well, Steve. So I agree with you. We are in a fallen world, but we also got a lot of people lifting up the world too. So Steve said was good. Sometimes it feels good to say your piece, because you do try to hold back as much as you can. He did a quote from the Bible, Isaiah 54:17, that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It may form, but it's not going to prosper. And he talked about how YouTube cannibalizes itself. And Steve, I think that's way bigger than YouTube. I think that is this world. We cannibalize on each other so much that if you get it, I hate you. And if I get it, I hate you. It's vice versa, right? But at the end of the day, you can either be a problem or you can be a solution. You can be a helper or a hinderer. Presents are designed to entertain you. Gifts were created, and they were created for a purpose. Anyone can entertain you, but it takes somebody to be a gift to bless you. And we have to recognize that some of us have been playing around with presents for a little too long. I'm gonna give the analogy because I say that often. Anyone can be a present to entertain, but it takes somebody to be a gift to bless you. Y'all remember the Toys R Us Great Big Toy Book? Write down 100 things you want of toys. Write down 10 things. Now write down one thing. You get that one toy, you play with it for 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 or 5. You ain't playing with it anymore. Yeah, it's nice, but it was cool. The reason why that present doesn't matter to you was because that present got your attention enough for you to give a care about it long enough. It was the anticipation, but there was no substance. When you get a gift from somebody, there's a connection there. There's a purpose there. There was a mindset to invest in you. So when I say anyone can be a present to entertain, but it takes a somebody to be a gift to bless you, the reason why I say it takes a somebody is because that person has to have enough sense of themselves to be a somebody to be responsible for how they give you energy. And there's a guy named George, I think it was George White or George somebody. And Steve said he plays this to himself often. And George said, you're going to have to fight more because you were chosen. And at the end of it, Steve said, all is forgiven. And you know what? I truly believe that for Steve to come on his nationally syndicated radio show, to allow himself to be his own strawberry letter, and for this to be aired out when honestly he didn't have to, and there was a huge chance that, as soon as the show was over, Premier Networks and iHeartMedia, hey Steve, we need to see y'all in the office. The fact that he knew that call could have been made to him, but he still went for it anyway, shows me that guess what? Just because it glitters gold doesn't mean I have to have it. And by the way, y'all, I want you to know something about the industry, about anything in life. Anything that you finally hear now has usually been talked about by many people before you find out. So I think that this was a very fast move. I think this was a very, not fast move situation, but it was a very leaking situation. And I think iHeartRadio and Premier Network stayed on top of it. And they probably called them to say, hey, listen, it is what it is. Y'all see it. Can we go for it? And guess what? If iHeartRadio and Premier Networks did not want it on the air, they would not have approved it. And, Steve said, Shirley said, thank you for not firing me. And Patricia Thompson, welcome in. She said, thank you, Steve, for not firing me. And Steve was like, you know what? It's not worth you losing your job over. I've been through worse. And Steve has. So for him to recognize that if I can get fired for my past and I can be responsible for helping somebody get through their past, then why add to being a problem where I can be a solution for them? That goes bigger than a job. And the nephew Tommy with his dumbass says, you know what, Shirley? Look at the bright side. You ain't got to cook no more. You can put those pots and pans away. So Steve, Shirley, Carla, Junior, nephew Tommy, Mississippi Monica, into that whole team over there. Just want to show y'all. 4 pages of notes. Just to show you, all skin folk ain't kin folk. Just gotta know who to watch out for. Some people are showing their representative, and some people are showing you exactly who they are. So, that being said, y'all give me a moment, because I'm gonna drop the link, and I want y'all to come up and talk with your nephew, because guess what? We got a lot to talk about. We got a whole lot to talk about. And honestly, when y'all come up here, I want y'all to give me y'all take of my review. I want you to be real, raw, and honest. Because at the end of the day, I only will be able to get better at this if I get my feedback from my virtual trials, my virtual tour family. Hey, to Silva. All right, y'all, give me a moment. I'm going to drop the link. Y'all come up. We're going to have a good time this morning. By the way, like, comment, share, subscribe. We're live on tour this morning, baby. Higher is Wayne, low is available. But either way, we're on tour. Give me a moment, y'all. Love y'all very much. Stay right there. All right, good people. The link is pinned. Come on up here. Talk with me. Come on. Come on. I know y'all got something to say. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all get up here and talk with your nephew. Oh, hang on. Wait, hang on. Beverly Childs is in the building.
Good morning.
Good morning, Queen. How are you feeling this morning?
I am wonderful. I can't complain. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Amen.
Amen, Queen.
I just want to say your review is excellent, or was excellent. Your take on Steve Harvey and Shirley Strawberry talking was excellent.
Thank you.
And I'm happy that Steve didn't fire Shirley, because even at her, I think she's 69. Mm-hmm. At her old age, I'm not too far behind her. Right. She needs all the money she can get, and I'm happy that she's divorcing that Jack. You know what? Mm-hmm. I hope he burning. Forgive me, Lord. Forgive me, Lord. I hope he burning hockey stick. You know what?
Lord help.
You know, animals. Come on now, children and animals. Come on now. Yeah. You got to be some kind of special sick.
Yeah, I agree.
So I wasn't in the military. I worked for the military. I was at one of the shows. I was working for the Coast Guard, and they invited us down. My boss took me down there, and it was an excellent show. And before we left, everybody got free gifts. $100 gift card for, I forgot the name of that company. And then a free trip down to, I think it was Tennessee, someplace down south, but I didn't go because I don't drive on ice. It was in the middle of winter.
Understood.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all. And you did a good job. Kudos to you. And, thank you. And I can say you're my grandson.
Look, I take that title on. And by the way, I want you to know something. Steve Harvey talks to his audience after every show. Mm-hmm. And he talks to the audience during the show. Do y'all remember a clip called Jump, where you gotta if you jump right away, your parachute ain't gonna open? They so look that clip up about Jump. He wrote a whole book called Jump. It was based off of a motivational message that he did at Family Feud. So somebody at Family Feud, and they tape a closed circuit feed, because it's an exchange of energy. There has to be a positive and a negative. So they have to have something to record to put something on the air. And so they recorded Steve doing this motivational message, and it went viral. You know, I want to get in Tea Talk with your girl. Welcome up. I want to give y'all context on something. I've said to my mom, my dad, my sister, and many of my friends, I'm going to talk to my audience 20 minutes after every show. And I want to do that because, not just because of Steve Harvey, but because I believe, like I said before, that 99.9% chance of your dream coming true did not have to come true. The fact that people are investing in your 1% coming true, 20 minutes ain't that hard to do. You don't know what someone is going through. You don't know what that hug will do. You don't know if there's a hater. Be like, oh, give me that phone. Hey, so you said they want to be able to meet Braylon Lee. Well, you know, I'm here on my talk show, And since you're a hater, how much do you have in bills? Oh, you got 50,000. Hey, I want you to wire them 1.5. Actually, pay off the bills, and then I want you to wire them $5 million to their account. Pay the taxes out of it, and give them a free trip to Disney World. So, hater, have a wonderful day, and they'll see you when you get back home. I'm that type of dude. So, I believe at the end of the day, right is right, wrong is wrong. You may not, everything you have may mean nothing to the world, but when somebody gives you a piece of their everything, it should become something to you. And just because you don't have the resources to give doesn't mean that you don't have it to give. And if you listen to the morning show, when he does, a show will, Steve Harvey got a radio show. Steve Harvey got a radio show. He does that mentally to let himself know that regardless of everything that happened to him, he still got a radio show. He still got a platform, and he still has a voice. Scorpion Miss, thank you, Queen. T-Talk with your girl. Welcome in. Be honest with me. How did nephew do today?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Beverly. How are you this morning?
Good morning. T-Talk with your girl.
As Miss Beverly said, you did a great job. Show this morning. So I myself was a little convicted because yesterday I was like, he needed to fire her. But listening to this morning, he did great. We sometimes fall victim to other people's circumstances, and in this case, I think that's what happened to Shirley. She sounded very remorseful this morning, and hurt too, because I'm sure she's still dealing with the fact that she was married to this man who committed all these crimes unbeknownst to her. And she said she lost everything. Like, I knew that from listening to some of the calls, because I didn't just follow this, every call they dropped. But I knew she had been at the hairdresser and they had taken her truck, but I didn't know the lady lost the house. Like, she lost everything. So I'm praying for her now, looking at it with a different eye. So, and I'm thankful that Steve is who he is, and he did not fire her, and he did not hold against her what she said on the phone. Even though she was wrong, she shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I agree. And not to mention too, and I said this too, like, for you, it's one thing to be on a phone call saying that your boss was Wendy. But then, when Steve said, well, you telling me I'm winded, you see me now, though. Well, you were winded. Surely that was not the move. It was already hurtful enough that was heard. It's Nash, you're live. I'm so, like I know that it needs some humor, but that wasn't the move. That wasn't the move. You should let nephew Tom be like, hey, dog, so I'm gonna be real with you. Like, me and you racing, I did whoop your ass. Like, you should let nephew Tommy do that. But also, too, I think that nephew Tommy and Junior were the supportive brothers today. Because usually they act a fool. But yeah, so.
Yeah, they all act a fool. I think they all were just in mode to let Shirley, get out. They trying to put this behind them, basically. Even the stuff, that Marjorie's being accused of. I got to tell you, my husband coming here because he I listen to Steve Harvey morning show. Well, I used to, and I haven't listened for quite a while. And he coming here. Oh, they say Steve Harvey wife did this. Oh, Steve Harvey White, what you think? You ain't talking about that on your show? I'm like, no, I'm not talking about Steve Harvey's wife because I don't know if any of that is true. And I don't want to be one out here degrading a woman over something that could possibly not even be true. I know her ex-man got out of jail and he done brought a lot of this heat on her going over there on the Tasha K show. So, I didn't want to be one to be, but like he said himself this morning, they don't dress the blogs because a lot of the stuff is not factual. but they had to address it because it is Shirley talking on the phone, and it is clearly Shirley Strawberry on that phone. Okay, so they had to address it. But the other stuff, I'm with Steve. I just never put my hands on it because I don't know if it's true, and I know you know me from the beginning because you've been with me since day one.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I might talk about these shows, and I might do, but I'm not here to degrade nobody or put no woman down, especially when I don't know the full story. So I just
Absolutely. And you know what? To be honest with you, I wasn't mad at Steve for defending his wife. I wasn't mad at it.
Supposed to.
He was supposed to do that. And for anybody who's going to say, well, you know what? The blogs are saying this, and that. Okay, would you have the same energy if somebody was coming for your partner? Yes or no? That's all I need to know. Not trying to defend him, but just saying, like, what was he supposed to do?
I'm happy that he cleared up that he did not introduce Ernesto to Shirley. That was very important because the rumor were flying.
Yes,
they gained wings and they flew all over the United States.
Yes, it did.
And also, I'm happy that he cleared up about his ex-wife. They divorced in 2005.
2005.
Kings of Comedy.
Yes.
Right. And I'm glad he cleared that up. So because I was thinking otherwise. I mean, I'm guilty of thinking otherwise, but I'm glad he cleared all that up. And I still, even though Shirley apologized and she's in the process of divorcing that idiot, I still can't believe how naive she was, knowing that everything was taped. But nobody expected for it to be released to the general public.
Nobody.
I would be embarrassed too. I think I would hide for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, no,
I
for
think
sure.
that's why she was so freely talking, because even though it says the calls are monitored and recorded, I guess she probably figured, oh, we just conversating. This ain't nothing that they gonna ever, what I mean, release.
Right.
They just doing this for safety or to catch, to catch the prisoners and stuff, and they might drop a dime or something. If they rob the bank, they might tell where the money is, stuff like that.
Right.
So maybe that's what Shirley was thinking, not knowing that, everything she said was gonna be out in the open, and especially Miss Beverly, like you said, how naive she was, even telling that man her daughter went to the police. I did not like that.
Yeah, that.
And told him, oh yes, I think her name's Sydney. She went down to the police station. I guess they tricked her into coming down or whatever. And the last thing she said was like, "We'll deal with that when you come home." And I'm like, wait,
she has to look at her as an enemy. I think her name is Sheridan. By the way, she also has her own skincare cleansing line as well. And what I genuinely hope is, and I want to give Talking Out Loud some credit here, because she said something that I did not think about. Just because I think it was Talking Out Loud, somebody I talked to, but either way, I remember this point. Just because you work with somebody doesn't mean that your wife has to like them, right? And I get that to a degree, right? Because like Shirley said that, they're not over at the house all the time. But what I do hope happens is that maybe and you know what? Sometimes conversations don't need to be had right away. Sometimes there needs to be time and space. But I do hope that Shirley and Marjorie can have that conversation, that, and all that can be cleared up. Because first of all, to be around for over 20 years in radio is an accomplishment. And I truly do not think, if Marjorie was with Steve when he only had 4 stations, that she would look at the radio crew as help. Because during that difficult time when he lost everything, that radio crew was all he had. So they were a ride or die for him. But bigger than that, like you said, T-Talk with your girl, I hope that um, that Sheridan and Shirley. Oh, no problem, Beverly. Much love to you, Queen. Thank you for coming up. I hope that Shirley and Sheridan repair their relationship, because at the end of the day, all you get is one mom and all you get is one child sometimes.
Yeah.
Nikki News says, and I quote, anyone can make a statement during a live radio broadcast, but it doesn't mean that's factual. I don't necessarily believe all Steve's statements. And Nikki, you know what? That's totally fair. You know what I mean? I think anything and everything is in the eyes and the hear and the is in the eyes and the ears of the beholder, right? Um, and some people have asked me, are you gonna cover? I'm like, no, I'm not. Now, was I in some of the chats for the calls? Yes, I was. But I wanted to do this review because it finally came to the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and it was Steve and Shirley talking. So at that point, it was valid to talk about it. Because after a while, it's hearsay. And I say hearsay because those were the calls, right? There wasn't really a lot of context to that. But this gave so much context that you probably could not have done in a YouTube video series. So I will agree with you, Nikki News. I think it's in the eye of the beholder, but also too, I wanted to do this review to showcase that all Black people aren't the same. I wanted to showcase that, context matters, but bigger than that, I wanted to show, or the biggest thing is that responsibility does and should always matter. And that's why I wanted to do the review. Now, you probably are going to get people who are not going to be as articulate, who are not going to be as intelligent. And you know what? I hope that intelligence shakes the table. I really do. And I think that there's going to be some people upset today with me shaking the table, with context, with being able to communicate, and with being able to care and have a soul. Because those people who will probably not review this will probably not review because they have hate, they have spite, and they don't have any intelligence to just be real with facts. So, but yeah, T-Talk with your girl says, great recap, Bray. Keep up the good work, nephew. Thank you very much, T-Talk. If you guys want to come up, feel free to come on up. Just click the link. It's pinned right there. We're in the middle of the strawberry letter. Subject, I did not know I was going to be a subject on the Steve Harvey Morning Show with my own letter. That's a little long-winded, but basically, I didn't know my life was going to be a strawberry letter. So, hey, everybody! I am still right here. Man, oh man! Idiots are idiots. You know that they are idiots. They really are. Oh man. I really am proud of that review. Because like I said, for the longest time, listening to the phone calls and everything else, I really didn't know how to really feel about Shirley. I knew I was pissed. I knew that she could do more, but I also felt that we just didn't know everything. You know what I mean? So that video there was done the morning of the morning of that letter. You know what I mean? So I was literally listening to it live and everything else. So yeah. So but yep, still here. I had to drop the StreamYard link because there is a dumb piece of shit thinking that he can do what he wants to do, but I know exactly who it is. So, but yeah, there you go. But yep, welcome in. Glad to have y'all here. We are just chilling at this point. Um, this was a good show. It's a good show. And I thank each and every one of y'all for being here. Um, after a while, you do get tired of doing YouTube, but also too, you gotta recognize that hey, listen, everybody's going to get trolled. It's not what happens to you; it's how you handle it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, 4 people in the building. Oh man. I thank God for my mom and dad. I really do. Because, man, if I didn't have them, I don't know what I would do. I think the soul I have now to be understanding for people, it comes from them. There's sometimes in life where, in the words of Terrence Howard, you want to whoop that trick. And yes, men can be tricks too. Just like Hotel. And that white cracker that was on here last night. Try to get on tonight. Tried. Should have been swallowed by his damn mama. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, but yep, just chilling. Angie, thank you for being here. Oleta Simple, thank you for being here. Nikki News, thank you for being here as well. Oli's on alarm, thank you for being here as well. So we are just chilling at this point. So yeah, we're just chilling. Oh, Hannah Grace said, hey. Hey, good to see you. Always appreciate your voice and thank you for being amazing. I appreciate you. You're chilling with your mental illness. Okay. All right. Listen, go get checked because Lord help. I do feel for some people with mental illness. I do. Feel like after since 2020, everybody has had mental illness and just being tired of the shit. Honestly, I mean, just people losing jobs, losing families, losing their mind. Just it's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit. But yep. Y'all watch this. Watch this, y'all. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Swear to God, man. It's always something, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all see that, right? Y'all see that, right? Fucking piece of shit. See, sometimes people, you gotta let people know who you are. You know what I mean? It was funny. I was talking with somebody today. I was telling them how I had some white teachers in elementary school that invested in me. So I know it's not all white people. And there are some good white people. There really are. You know what I mean? So. But yep, still right here. Still right here. Just chilling, y'all. You notice how the piece of shit ain't clicking the link anymore, right? Y'all notice that, right? Mm. Tay Talk sent you over. Okay. Okay. I know Tay personally, so.
Take a chance and find someone new. Download Bumble.
Just subscribed. All right.
I cannot with Tay.
Why cookie on the rubber?
Tay.
Hey, Cookie got a request. What they want you to Cookie to sing? Give a request.
Sing whatever you want, Cookie.
Aww.
Tay,
Cookie said she doesn't want me to stop singing. Get your little slick ass back in your damn bed. You on home.
Tay is extra, ain't she?
On your ass. Say another word against me and watch how pop Cookie. Look at Cookie eyes. Cookie, don't try to act like I beat you. Try to please. I don't look at her face. Cookie, bark if you need help. Bark if you need help, Cookie. For real.
No, she blinked twice, Emily. She blinked twice. She needs help.
Not blinking twice. Lord help.
Catch you blinking. Get on that bed. You want to show out and make me look bad. You sound like Markel. Trying to make me look bad in front of the show, the damn cameras, these people on this damn YouTube.
Lord help.
Oh, I remember.
I had to go to digging.
Oh, child. Okay, we about to get on. Let's see. Shrek.
Not Shrek.
This is what that brother looked like.
Okay. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
I cannot.
1 second. Let me get this here.
I commented on his post. I was like, why is it all the men in your family always got something to say about Mel? Like, go mind your business.
I wonder his they daddy been in Mel inbox.
For real?
Probably. And has.
Like, every single male in that family got something to say about Mel. Like, go.
That is true. Sad to say.
Finish a project.
Please. Or worry about Zen Garden.
For real. Like,
look at him.
Oh no.
Brownie, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Oh no.
I can't with all them teeth spaced out. I cannot. Bald head. Is that the shirt he had on the show? I cannot. Yeah, that's a dingy. That's the same shirt.
Oh my god.
I'm convinced. And then he dyed Martell's shirt, little pea coat. Martell didn't wear that pea coat, or he made it out of wood from the trees in the forest that he lived in. He made it out of wood.
Not,
This is exactly how he looked that day.
not how he looked that day.
He looked like
I love those ladies so damn much, man. I really do.
he looked like that thing right there. Them teeth look like old popcorn kernels at the bottom of the bag that's been burned, okay? I'm talking about some, what? He was so scared of him. He was so scared. And y'all know we found another leaky down spot on his ass. Oh my God. I don't want to see it.
Lord.
We found, remember when they shut my Patreon down? When we was called ourselves trying to watch that episode? Yeah. Oh, when he was sitting on the bench? Mm-hmm. When his legs gapped open. Then try to cover. I bet it was a puddle on the bench.
Not a puddle.
A box of diapers to Black. I'm gonna send some pads because I think they need tampons and pads.
You know what? Take me a stop.
They're anonymously. Ooh, should we send it to Black? Ooh, yeah, what we should do. Y'all, dang, I should have did it when I had all the people in the chat. That's what we need to do. We need to send tampons and pads to Black and a bra. She said, and the bra's kind of expensive. So. They need the ones that they got. I don't know about the bra, y'all. If y'all can afford the bra, send it. He got enough for them.
I love them so damn much. By the way, shout out to Brown Skin Girl. Shout out to Drop the Mic. Shout out to Wednesday Talks and those amazing gossip girls over there as well. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. So, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. See what I mean? See, some people in life, they have no life. And after a while, they gotta stay away. So that white cracker piece of shit, fuck you. Okay? It's probably one of those people that y'all know those channels that, you know, find predators and stuff on kids. He's probably one of those people, honestly. A creepo, weird, and displaced. Should never formed out of his mother's womb. I said it. Don't care. Anyway, child. Anyway, listen. I love everybody, but I don't put up with shit either, okay? So. But yeah, but we're just chilling. Y'all was talking the whole time, and y'all couldn't hear me. It's time for the Daily Motivator. This is how real the tour is, right? Let me read it to y'all one more time. A life well lived here. A life well lived. You have the time, do the work. You have the opportunity to fulfill its promise. You have the knowledge, the skills, the resources, bring the achievement. You have the understanding, the sense of purpose, love, kindness, create new life-enhancing value. You have the potential, transform it into richness, into beauty with your time, make meaning with your actions, speak the truth of life well lived. Ralph Morrison. You know, all of this says you, right? So I think that means that it starts with us. Number two, recognizing that starts with us, we are in control of what we invest in. Number three, after you know it starts with you, after you're in control of what you invest, are you going to be responsible for what you do? And so with that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you weren't born special, because you are always born blessed. And trust, you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Why is one thing? Call yourself. It's another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. Hopefully, by spending time together, we're going to be great together. And always remember, when you're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or you're just trying to showcase that, hey, listen, everyone has a line, everyone has a limit. And listen, respect people or get disrespected. Okay? Make sure the replay is not just where you watch it, not just where you listen to it, but if you want to experience it again. I love you. I value, I embrace you. Or always remember, or receive love, you got to give it. Or receive love, you got to give it. Or receive love, you got to give it. Whatever obstacles you have overcome, whatever successes you have achieved on this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you, but if no one else is proud of you, be proud of your damn self, all right? And finally, just know, for every idiot, there is someone of intelligence. Or I put it like this: for every person that has ignorance, there's a person with intelligence right behind them. One love, much love, all love. Enjoy the fireworks for the day that was, for the day that's coming, for the blessings are on the way for you, me, and everybody as a culture. I'll see y'all soon. Good night.